speaker is Mr. Zlatogor Minchev. The topic is Challenges to Future Training with Interactive Intelligent Avatars.
So, before preparing the technology, I'll try to say a few words as an introduction that we basically are not doing too much on the education and training except an initiative that academician Kenderov and Jane involved me in 2005. This is the Young Students Institute, where we are sponsoring and giving some lectures regarding artificial intelligence topics generally. Our approach is more in the analysis and in the security area. But what I have prepared, it's a modification of something that we are using in one of our laboratories for smart environments of the future. So I'm going to say a few words about something that we think will be useful, hope to be impressive for you, and I'll be happy to get your feedback, because one of the most important things is to be successful, and you'll see some measurements that we added at the end. It's just a prototype and it's a starting, and if we find a good team, we can apply for a nice project. So what's this? These are something well known that when you are interactive, you get more success. You see in this pyramid at the basement that according to the measures that we didn't do, but these other researchers in the field of education and training, that interaction increased the efficiency. Whether it's true or not, it's an arguable question, but learning by doing is more successful for some human beings, other not. So I'll try to add a nice introductory here from a short part of a movie. So I don't know whether you have seen this. So the idea is not mine, it was a colleague, a psychologist from the New Bulgarian University last week, where we put the introductory like this.
Good morning, Mr. Troyansky. So, a star is digitized. You know what this means? We have stepped into a new dimension. Our ability to
I'll stop it here because the movie is quite nice, but it's not our topic. Unfortunately, maybe. So here we put a number of avatars. This is the second life. This is the famous movie. And this, I don't know whether you have seen it, is the Digital Eve. It's Australia and New Zealand. These guys are working on. I had the chance to be part, and I'm still a national representative about that topic, entertainment computing, about the UNESCO. So we are trying to study the problem. I will put here another very short clip. To get an impression about it.
Hi there, welcome to Easy with Eve. My name's Eve, and today we're going to be doing some fun counting and adding on the computer with tens, frames and counters. In a minute, we're going to start looking at some problems together, and you're going to have to use the...
So this is for kids, of course, but where we are? At the very old theory of agents, from the artificial intelligence, where you can address data mining things and use your multimodal sensors and actuators by means of sound or other devices implementing interactiveness. So if we have defined a clear goal to achieve a better educational assessment, we can proceed further. So we did. This is a system that we modified it from last week to this one for the purposes of trying to put some education. You get some demonstration live one. So we select artificial faces and voices. DAS Studio is offering a virtual avatar in full scale for about 50 euros each. So the sound and the voice is also a commercial product. You can also find a Bulgarian version of this. So with some programming and lots of psychology, we have a team on this that is working on the problem. And we did a lot of tests trying to put a voice towards a certain face. So I can play something that was recorded in advance, and you try to participate in this study that we have developed this year.
Hello, Master. I'm Alex. Please tell me your orders.
So this is one of the voices. They are all for the four.
Hello, Master. I am Alex. Please tell me your orders.
So, but this is just the beginning. You need to make it dynamic. So making dynamics is quite complicated, as I said, because you should take attention about the face featuring. This is a study that was recently published. It's related to how the face should be arranged, the character. There is a lots of things to be done, but as I said, we are addressing learning, so we should define some rules that should be implemented behind this very nice interface and try to be really effective. So, this is ITA. What does it mean, ITA? It's interactive training avatar. And I'll try to make a short demo. ITA by now was being developed quite on the fly just for the demo, and I'll just prepare it here to get an impression from your side. It's a computer program developed in Visual C that has some implementations around the natural language communication together with some multimedia questions that ITA can answer now. I'm trying to demonstrate it in real time. ITA, hello.
Hello, dear. Welcome to the virtual reality training. My name is Anne, and I am eager to answer your questions about the scientific facts you want to learn. You'll get a video response to your question if it is available in my database.
So ITA has been developed as a prototype of a DAS Studio model with some modifications in Crazy Talk. It just takes me about a day and something because we have some prepared things, but it can also answer your questions. They're currently discrete, and I'll just give only one demo. ITA, tell me something about Milky Way galaxy.
Hello, dear. Welcome to the virtual reality training.
So it's a normal computer bug. And this demonstrated it's just under development.
You'll get a video response to your question if it is available in my database.
ITA, tell me about Apollo mission.
Thank you, dear. The answer to your question is in the next video.
If we had a sufficiently precise powerful test.
So this is just a video that we took from the YouTube and this is just an example how we can make an interactive multimedia. ITA, goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
So, but there are a number of things to be done. You see here fMRI about the successfulness of the things. It's just an ongoing study from our cooperation from the Institute of Neurobiology of the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences that is concerning the avataring success. The first thing that you see is a model concerning a reconstruction about the about the immersion of the avatar. The first part is related to the you look through the eyes of the avatar, and the second one is you look aside. So what's the problem using avatars in education and training as a qualitative measure? You see that you are quite not enough activated if, as in comparison when you are in the avatar. So there's a long discussion here and it's a lot of work to do. Hopefully if we manage to get a research product on the topic, we will be more advanced next time when you arrive here. So there are many things to be developed by means of assessing the process, by means of the implementing data mining things and looking around the internet for data, because it's very discrete in the moment, and the idea is easily can be connected to the global network and to implement things like smart environments and cloud computing. And the big question is about the successfulness. That's why I showed you that measures. It looks very impressive, but the question is how effective it is. So this very general study is about 60-70 people, and it shows that if you look aside the problem, so if you're just an observer, it's not quite successful. So as you see, we are at the beginning and we have to take attention on this, because new technologies looks very nice, very luxury, but the question is how successful they are. And there is the human factor, so we the people who will judge the successfulness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minchev, and thank you to Ita, but she is the second one in discussing about the effects. So, questions, please.
Be sure to play with it before you get married. Otherwise.
Several years ago, there was big hype about something called Project Natal, and both Sony's and Microsoft's project about implementing virtual avatars, which were supposed to be able to carry out sort of advanced communication, so on and so forth. Then we didn't see much. Can you tell us maybe why?
I'll tell you why, because Web 4 is just coming, it's a preparation. That's why there are many studies in the problem, but not too much commercial products. You can take a survey on the Google and find some like that one, avatars for mobile devices, but avatar as a full immersion environment, it's difficult to be developed for many reasons, and it's quite expensive. We have an experiment about $500,000 in our institute to develop a similar environment. The name of the assistant is Alex. Alex is responsible for controlling a room, a smart room. It's like a butler, a host, and it's quite difficult. It also has a holographic projection that I was asking. There's a pseudo holographic things that are quite dynamic, but we will see in the next 5 years things like that, and I hope so.
Thank you very much. Other questions? Please.
I think that with this demonstration you have broken the heart of a lot of young girls, because you prefer to speak with someone artificial just for hearing often and often "my dear."
It's just a program.
So my question is, what is more challenging for informaticians like you, the human factor or the technological factor? Imagine young people talking to avatars more often than people next to you. We are seeing this even now.
So the technology to some extent has been developed on the level that is easy for rapid prototyping. So I can make it more perfect on a week with my people. But the things that are difficult to be measured is just the human factor. It's very difficult to measure the successfulness of your developments, and this to be done in a way that you can be sure about your data, because the data that I show you from the fMRI is quite laboratory. So you put a guy on a tuner and you measure their reactions, and the big challenge here is how to measure without an artificial environment. So it's quite complicated. We are working on it, but it's not that easy. Thank you.
Thank you. Adam? Please.
This is sort of a two-part question. I was thinking about Microsoft Bob, if you're old enough to remember. Microsoft Bob versus this lady is a little different. But also about the situation many of us are in, where it's much easier for students who would like to know things around the world now to email me than it is for them to Google or go into any depth on the web, because they expect that they will just be answered immediately. And so they don't really dig in to learn, I've noticed. And so you have to become very undesirable in order for the students to actually engage in a learning activity. It's easier just to talk to someone that looks attractive. And this is related to the earlier question of, will they always be talking to avatars in the future? Because all of us are not always so nice. We're kind of grumpy in real life. What do you think?
So thank you for that very difficult and complex question. So the good news is that when you use software, you can change the face and the appearance of that lady, whatever you want. This is the first thing. But the big problem about the human brain is that once it understands the limitations, the famous Alan Turing test, it just becomes boring from these new technologies. So here the focus is a little bit different. We don't want just only to advertise, though some of our partners in our group are from Hollywood and they were very impressed on ideas like that, but we want to try to make successful education systems. That's why I think that this nice project will have a good outline if it can conclude with a real one for at least 3 to 5 years and to implement the experience and the technologies and try to put it online in the schools and to see the feedback. So that's why I try to address this here.
Thank you very much. Some other questions? If not, thank you, Mr. Minchev. Now is the end of our session. I really would like to say thank you very much. We spent 2 very interesting, exciting and useful 2 hours, and I would like to thank you personally to all contributors of our work on this session: Genia Sendva, Konstantin Delchev, Milena Krumova, Anatoly Peshev, Oleg Konstantinov, Zlatogor Minchev, Professor Sharkova, Professor Fall. Thank you very much, and I would like to wish a lot of success in their career and research activities of all our young scientists participating in this session. Thank you very much.